Just kidding. I was coming in and out. I thought I would try that one and see how that works. Lim Lee, nice to see you. Rhonda, I see that you're crocheting. Absolutely. Where are my glasses? Where, as everything has gotten so bloody fuzzy. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so very much. Today's going to be one of those topics. I did send a message out just in case anybody wanted to join. Aurora. God dang it. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Thank you so very much for being here. Poet, pup groomer. I don't want to miss anybody. Retired Red, take a bow. Tommy C. Jamie, nice to see you. Anita, nice to see you. TL Grant. Hi, how are you? And then Hecate. I that's the main part I love saying all the time in yours. Hecate. Care for JC. Thank you so very much for being here. Everyone, I appreciate you being here beyond measure. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. I keep like moving my screen and it's causing like all of this stuff to go haywire, and then I focus on the fuzzy. So thank you all for being here. Today, the reason I wanted to say I want justice is because Tambler, thank you so much for being here. Linda, thank you so much. I had one of those situations happen the other day where I saw my mom was receiving phone calls from Golden Era Productions. And so it sent me in a little bit of a tailspin, because there was either a chance that she knew my dad was alive this whole time, or there was Cherie, thank you so much. Thank you for yesterday. Everybody say hi. Everybody that was able to watch it. She is in the chat. But it left me in this very bad feeling in my heart, in my head, that my mom has known my dad was alive this whole time and chose not to help me. Joni, thank you so very much for showing up. But it became one of those situations where I was getting curled up in it. And so what I had to do was I actually had to confront my mom. Now, by confronting my mom, I had to find out what she was talking about. And she basically said, "Hi, Marilyn. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. I know you're cooking dinner right now, so I appreciate it. If you finish dinner, you're more than welcome to hop on in." But it also was one of those situations where it was like I needed this justice. I needed to find out, like, are you reporting me? Are you trying to hurt everybody that I now care for and love, that's showing me love, you know? And she ended up saying, that she's only picked up the 323 numbers when I'm in Los Angeles, because she thinks that it's me calling. Not really sure why she thinks it's me, everybody. Not really sure if that was a justification, but realistically, it all ended with the same story, that all these people are trying to dupe me. They're trying to use me, once in RTC, always in RTC. And it got to a point where I started to realize that if I can't save my mom, how am I supposed to save my dad? And then I had an amazing conversation with my wife. I had an amazing conversation with Amy Scobie, and she basically said, let it go. My mom's trying to get me to stop on YouTube, so that way, I stop making noise. But I'm not going to stop, because I want justice. I want justice for myself. I want justice for Serge Del Mar. I want justice for Lara. I want justice for Vanessa LaRose. I want justice for Mark and Claire Headley. I want justice for Amy Scobie and Matt Pett. I always get his name wrong. Matt. I want justice for Mike, for Leah. I want justice for all of us. Aaron, like, good Lord, that man does so much for all of us. And I want justice. Now, justice may come in different forms. For me, I think justice comes in the form of it's just own what you did. Stop this disconnection, because we're coming for our family. We're coming for our friends. Sophia, thank you so much for joining. See, I remember your name. Um, but it left me in this little bit of a tailspin, feeling like I wasn't really affecting anyone. And then it made me realize that I may not be able to save her, and that's fine. That's fine. If I can't save her, that's fine. Because I still have my beautiful wife. I still have my friends that have become my family. I still have you guys listening. And inappropriate. Hey, hey. Um, but it's become more of this passion-filled race to get to the finish line. Now, the finish line may look different for everyone. I'm not saying that I want that they cannot have their freedom of religion, because that's what they like to throw at us. That we don't want them to have freedom of religion. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But realistically, if that's what they want to believe or choose to believe, I'm a firm believer that you are allowed to believe whatever it is, whether it's a higher power, it's God, whether it's anything, along those lines. You can believe whatever you want to believe. My problem is you hid abuse. You hid, not you personally, but this church hid abuse. They hid, neglect. They let some of the kids starve. They left us lying on cots. We got abused by many of our adult peers, like these adults that are around us, whether they hit us, punched us, did whatever they did. It's disgusting how they want us to say that we're the bad guys. That, when we were just kids, I was 4 years old when all of this started happening, where I could remember 4 years old, 4 years old to remember being hit and scarred and beaten and punched, and wondering if this was going to be the rest of my life. And the more I realized that I can't save my mom, maybe if I can't save my mom, I can save my dad. Because my mom went on this tirade, everybody. And I mean like this ridiculous tyrant of, you never loved your dad. You knew he was out ethics, and you knew everyone at Golden Era was out ethics when you were a child. You weren't a stupid kid. Now, I'm curious. I was an abused kid. I was a hurt kid. I was a suffering kid. I wanted my dad. And yet I somehow went from wanting my dad to I didn't love him. And then it was hurtful because he's still my father. He just fell for some snake oil, and if that's his religion, if that's what he wants to have as his religion, fine. Just stop this disconnection. I'm not going to talk shit about what he believes. I just want to stop all of the crap. Ron, welcome. Selma, thank you so very much for showing up. All of you, thank you so much for listening. I will get to some of those questions in just a second. But I think her end goal, because she then finished it off with just stop. This is $1 billion corporation that all they want to do is hurt people. And if they get away with hurting one, they get away with hurting them all. And if we don't stop, they're going to continue hurting people inside. Well, if they're still hurting people inside, guess what? There's still little me's inside. There's still little Nora's inside. There's still people being abused by James Richardson, by, Renee Duzak. Those people are still in. I guarantee you, with David Miscavige, if he got away with punching people before and nobody came and said that was to stop because he was the David Miscavige, then all of a sudden you realize that he's still continuing because they don't think this is wrong. They don't think it's wrong to live on rice and beans. They don't think it's wrong to live on 800 calories a day. They don't think it's wrong to deprive people of sleep. And it's wrong. It's wrong to not let them live a normal life. If they want to be in, fine. If my father gets out and says he wants to go on the bridge, I'm not going to give him the money, but he can definitely get a job, if that's what he wants, or he could garden, or he could read books, or he could do whatever it is that makes him happy, because I need them to stop this disconnection. I need them to realize what they did was wrong. The idea that my father hasn't talked to his siblings in 20 years, that's 20 years for them to really twist their hearts, their heads, and try to understand what's going on with my dad. Try to understand what's happening, and realistically, it's not a good place to be in. It's not a good place to wonder. Then you in that very same breath, the very same breath, look at Mike's mom. Um, his mom got credit cards taken out in her name. His mom got her savings account completely destroyed. And she gets out and they own up to what they did and they transfer $160,000 to her, or it's like 168, I think so. But someone might have to correct me on that. But because they know what they did was wrong and they got caught. And that's the biggest thing, is them getting caught. You're caught with your pants down. Congratulations. Realistically, every single time that you hurt someone, that you hurt a child, that you sat there and twisted their words, you twisted families and try to say, they're my daughter in this lifetime, but next lifetime it'll be different. They're my son this lifetime, but next lifetime will be different. It's this lifetime that matters, because this lifetime is where you choose your worth. That was my belief, is this lifetime is where you make the biggest impact. And realistically, you're not making an impact if you're hiding. You're not making an impact if you're not confronting your family, not talking to them, pretending you're dead, or allowing someone to tell your family that you're dead. That's not making an impact. And so that deserves justice. The idea of hurting someone so badly, whether I'm gay or not, hurting someone so badly and telling me that my father's dead when he could be sitting right there. He could be sitting right next to the person that's telling me my father's dead. But he did nothing. Like it was, maybe he had no other choice. And if he had no other choice, let me know. Let me know what's going on. My mom tried to say that people were hurting Serge. If he doesn't want Serge Obolinski, if he doesn't want to remember his past, he doesn't have to. Don't remind him of some of the bad stuff that he went through. And I was having this great conversation with Serge Obolinski, and I was like, look, this is what's being said to me. And he said, you know what? Do what you're doing. Keep doing it. And I said, do you want me to continue telling you stuff? Yes, I do. I want to talk to you all the time. And so we smiled, we laughed, and he said, get justice. What does justice look like for you? Justice for you, justice for all of us. What does justice look like? But he said it in I asked him if he felt like I was doing him justice. And we were kids. We were innocent children that should have been learning how to play with dolls. And instead we're playing with clay. We should have been being taught how to read, how to write. And instead we're being shown how to look words up in the dictionary, but we don't know what those words are or what it is that we're looking at because we don't know how to read. Like it wasn't important for school. When I first went into a regular never in school, I did not understand why their lingo seemed so childish and why they didn't talk like they were regular adults. I also had adult lingo. So because I had adult lingo, I had a really hard time making friends. I want justice for that. I still sometimes revert back to, what I was going through as a child, how manipulated we were and how, you pulled this in, you got hurt, you did something to pull it in. You're allowing someone to do this to you, the idea that people could when I confessed that, I'd been sexually assaulted and I had a child, it was, what did you do to pull that in? How PTS are you? It wasn't like, it definitely wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to you. You went through hell and high water and now all of a sudden you're here. It was, no, it was, you did something to pull it in. You did something to pull it in. You must have said or done something that you deserved that, because it's not the person that perpetrates at fault. It's never their fault. It's always the victim. The victim had something, pulled it in. The victim is being whiny. The victim has case on post. It's all of these stupid things that they sit there and justify it. Forcing your wife to have an abortion when she wants to be a mother more than anything in this world. That's disgusting. Forcing a woman to give up something that she truly wants because it's supposedly the greater good. Well, what's the greater good for the most dynamics? You're basically telling everybody that the second dynamic, which is family, doesn't mean shit to anybody. I want justice because I'm part of that second dynamic. I was born into this. And because I was born into this, you guys gave me no choice. Now I have a choice. My choice is simple. My choice is to continue speaking out. My choice is to continue with everything. Letting people know exactly what they do in Scientology, letting them know exactly what's been done. I'm not giving up because I may not be able to rescue my mom, but I can sure rescue my dad. I can sure rescue anybody else that doesn't want to be in there. And I can sure get justice for those of us that were left to our own devices, left to fend for ourselves and try and, combat hunger and be, jealous of some of the people behind the blue fence, even though they were not having a good time. But we were jealous because they had people that cared about them, or at least that's what it looked like from the outside. Whether it was the cadet academy where everything was Lord of the Rings, top to bottom rank, or if it was a kid that was like, you were being bullied by another kid and you immediately went, well, my mom is the LRH com. I'm going to go tell my mom. I'm going to tell my dad who's at Gold. And that is the most ethical place ever. CMO, they're ethical. Yeah, so the way they blame Aurora, the way they blame victims disgusts me. What happened to you is not your fault, Liz. Thank you so very much. I'm working on it. I'm truly working on it. Just today happens to be one of those days that, I can sometimes I can push my mom's words like right out my head, and sometimes they circle around like I did something wrong, like me doing this is wrong, me going to the rally is wrong, me going to the protest is wrong. No, it's not, because it lets people know what's going on inside is not okay. And that's something that we need to see at times. We need to see people out there that care. I was not malicious. I did not have any ill intent. I did not cuss at them. I did not say anything that is not true. Rice and beans are not a meal. Let me tag some of these questions and we'll definitely go back. I just don't want it to get so bad that I can't get through all the questions or the statements. Okay, from Poet. Do you think they're going to try to get her to handle me? I think that's exactly what they're doing, because one of her lines was, the two people that are messing with Serge are once RTC, always RTC. And that's not true at all, and being realistic, nobody's hurting him. We're all trying to help him. What's hurting him was leaving him on the street, was not letting him have a family. Like, for God's sakes, he didn't even know his brother had passed on. Like, what they did to him is deplorable. Aurora, let's see, that's such a difficult thing. We love you here. We love you here unconditionally. Thank you so much, because sometimes you just need that. Today's one of those days that I just kind of need that. Joni, your mom knew all these years your dad was alive. It sounds like it to me. It sounds like she knew he was alive. And as far as I knew, he was dead. And it's just one more secret that woman kept from me. And I'm getting tired of secrets. I'm getting tired of finding out new lies. I really thought that I went to Celebrity Center, their daycare area. It turns out I went to COE. I really thought I went to Delphi. I went to Pinewood Academy, and we haven't found a picture of the school yet. But I know a bunch of us went there, and I remember some of our pictures. We used to have to sit on this white wicker chair, and we'd have to cross over and be like so prim and proper, like chest up, out, jaw precise, and we'd look at the camera, but it was on a stupid wicker chair that was never comfortable. But it wasn't fun. And I'm getting sick of finding out things that I was being told, like here's a big Whopper, everybody. Whopper, Whopper, Whopper. And no, I don't mean the burger. My mom tells me that they bury people at gold under a tree. I talked to Aaron. Aaron's like, no, they don't. There's nobody buried there. And I was hurt because that is information that I thought was like, that's where my dad is. That's where I need to go. That's where he's buried. But no, turns out to be another whopper of a lie. Okay, Aurora, my personal beliefs, if you can believe what you want as long as you're not harming others. Absolutely. Believe whatever it is you want to believe as long as you're not hurting other people. And in Scientology, they're hurting everybody. If they can't have your wallet, they'll have you take out loans. And these are loans that you can't afford. Why should it cost $3 million to $10 million to move up the bridge to total freedom, everybody? But $5 million plus you have to donate. It's disgusting. It's bloody disgusting. Surely it's 100% of people in Scientology suffer from abuse. Absolutely. I am not the only one. Serge Delmar, not the only one. Lara, not the only one. Aaron, not the only one. Reese, Sterling, not the only one. Look at what happened to Jenna Miscavige, and she has the last name. Like, being realistic, this happens to many people. And if you weren't in the sewer, guess what? You were still getting hurt. Look at Vanessa LaRose. The idea of what our parents have chosen is deplorable. And it's time that they woke up. It's time that they realize what they're doing is not saving the world. Because it's not saving the world, anybody. Because it's the greater good for the greatest dynamics. Well, if they skip the second dynamic, but they're really working hard on the group and the world, then suddenly it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay to ignore your family and pretend like you're saving the world when everybody on the outside thinks that you're a bloody cult. Okay. Ron Mogul, you can't save a person that doesn't want to be saved. Absolutely. Because I don't think she wants to be saved. And it's time that I realize it. Because I've been trying to get her to talk to Amy Scobie for months and realizing today that she just doesn't want to be saved. She still wholeheartedly believes, and I've got to make a decision from that point. I've got to make a decision as to what I'm willing to accept. And if I can't accept that, then fine. But at the same time, I'm still going to do better than what she did. Okay, retired Red, whatever he chooses to do, it will at least be his choice. Absolutely. If he tells me, you know what, I want to be free, I want to be out, and I don't want anything to do with you, fine. It'll hurt. Not going to lie, it'll hurt. I've thought you were dead for years, but fine. You are allowed to do whatever it is that you want. And if that doesn't include me, I'm okay with that. But make it your choice. Don't make someone else's choice your own choice, because that's not a choice. Sophia, if he doesn't want contact with you, they could just let him out and tell you after all. Absolutely. Come tell me. Come tell me to my face. And don't be writing letters like it's really him. I know what his handwriting looks like. And I know when he's pausing in his handwriting because he still has very precise cursive. Some of it's legible, some of it's not. But you know what? I still have it. Okay, Ron Mogul. I love how much you chat. I love it. Wow, that is an amazing point. As a child talking in an adult speech, perhaps that's why I was feeling alienated too. Absolutely, because we were talking like adults, because we were treated like adults. We were never considered children. If they left us alone, it's fine. We're adults in little bodies. Never mind that it wasn't safe. Never mind that things were happening to us. Never mind that, we were constantly hungry and wanting our parents. But then at the same breath, we're supposed to look at them and be like, you're so amazing. You're saving the world. Really? By forgetting your child. That's what you're doing. You're saving the world by forgetting about your child. You're taking away your responsibilities, because it does take two to tango. All right. Care for JC. Those mother posts from Reese are heartbreaking. All those things they're telling their kids. Absolutely. What Reese has had to go through, and the fact that this is her first Christmas without anybody, that's horrendous. It's disgusting. It's basically saying that you're not worth anything because you don't have the same views as us. You're still the exact same person, but you know what? Because you don't think our way, bye. Bye bye. We don't love any of you anymore. How can anyone stop loving someone the way that these guys stopped loving them? I don't think they can, people. I don't think they're really stopping loving us. I think they're just scared. They're scared of the repercussions. Well, stop being scared. Come out. Come say hello. Any one of us would welcome you with open arms. If I got a phone call today that said, hey, your dad wants out, he wants to be picked up right now, I would call everybody I know in LA and be like, you know what? Hey, can you get a Vanessa from the Gray Zone, also known as Vaboop, to my dad? Please get her to my dad, because I need her to see where his head is. And then we'll figure out how to get him up here, or whatever we need to do, whatever he wants to do. We'll figure it out. Okay, Brian. It's really ironic that Cult of Scientology talks about reactive mind, where they seem to be very reactionary. Absolutely. They don't really know what the word reactive mind means. They're twisting it to mean something completely different. They're twisting it so that way it fits what their definition is, instead of fitting what the definition really is. Okay. But I did stop, get me some Dutch Bros. I was having a bad day. I was having a very bad day. Okay. I think it's violin. Valine. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry. That your mom didn't tell you your dad was alive is a big deal. Absolutely. I won't forgive her, because I've lived so long grieving the loss of someone that could have been a dad, and if she knew he was alive, that's it. That's no. That's a no. I don't care what her feelings or her beliefs about my dad are. That's a no. You don't get to choose who my parents are. Okay. Jamie, been watching Scientology and the aftermath. I cried with them, because it's you're seeing what we felt. You're seeing what we've gone through. I did not do the aftermath. It was far over by the time I found out about them. But I've watched every one of the shows, every single one of them. And Mike Rinder and Leah Remini have done some amazing things, and they deserve respect for what they've started, because it's the downfall. It's the start to the end. Now, the end is the end of disconnection, the end of messing with families, the end of this garbage that they call, oh, the greater good for the greater number of dynamics. No, because it's a big, giant chunk of hog shit that tells you don't have to take responsibility for your actions. Sorry, guys, for making you take responsibility for your actions. Okay, Care for GC. Just bang my head about your mom. I hope you get your dad back. I do too, because it feels like right now I don't have any biological or DNA related family. That's what it feels like. It feels like I can't trust her, and I can't trust the words that are coming out of her mouth, because she wants me to stop, and I refuse to stop. I refuse to stop till we get some of our family back. And even then, I'm going to keep going until this whole idea of disconnection is done with. If they want to believe whatever it is you want to believe. I'm not going to stop you. If people out there want to believe the earth is flat, okay. Really? Geography? Really? You know, the pictures that the astronauts take from outer space should tell you it's not flat. But that's fine. That's fine. If they want to believe it, I'm going to giggle a little bit, but fine. Okay. Ron Mogul. The big part of peeling an onion, we encourage it again and again. The guilt, feeling worse. I remind myself all the time that it's indoctrination. Absolutely. Because as a kid, you were forced to believe a certain way. And if you acted differently, you were told that you're in lower conditions. You were told that you're an out ethics person, that you don't even deserve to eat. Here's some rice and beans, or you just didn't eat at all. You just did not eat at all. And then we didn't see our parents for days. And when we did see our parents, we got to meet a heavy hand. I remember one time my dad and I were hanging out and I somehow pissed off his girlfriend at the time because I said, why don't you ever get back with mom? And I don't know their whole story. And to be honest, I don't care anymore. I don't want you guys getting back together. It sounds like you're very toxic for each other. But at the same time, you're still my dad. She's still my mom. But this indoctrination has to go. Okay. Violin, forget about what happened. Just move on. It's something only a person without trauma could say. Trauma sits in your whole body. You can't just forget about it. Absolutely. I can't forget about it. I can't forget what I've seen. I can't forget what I've done to people. I can't forget what's happened to me. Like the fact that I know what a broken rib feels like, and I have known what a broken rib feels like since I was 7 years old. I know what a broken eye socket feels like because that happened before I was 7. I remember having to wear these big gaudy glasses because nobody wanted to see both my eyes were broken because my nose was broken. Nobody wanted to see that. Hide that. Hide it. Hide it. It didn't happen. Yes, it did. I remember very clearly. Ron Mogul, we have so much more value in what we thought. You have so much value, Liz. And what you're doing is amazing. I hope so. I hope if I can help one person get their family member back, I'm okay with that. If I don't get my family member back, would it suck? Yes. But if I can help one person get their family back, then I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a good job letting people know that what happens out there, it isn't okay. Betsy, your mom knew and you thought your dad was dead. My mom and I do not have good communication, as Carrie can post in the chat. She'll tell you. We argue a lot. She says it's because we're alike. But realistically, I don't think I'm anything like my mom. And anybody that knew her can tell me, but I don't think I'm anything like her. I cry and she does not. Okay. Violin, Derma, so true. Without trauma or gaslighting, it is devaluing you. Absolutely. Because I felt very worthless today. I felt like I was lower than low at the idea that I could not help my mom. And if I can't help my mom, how am I going to help my dad? Okay. Jamie Palmer, Liz Ferris, this may not be the original, but I call it the bridge to total bullshit. Absolutely. We're going to use it now. It's not bridge to total freedom anymore. It's bridge to total bullshit because Zeno's our leader. Nino. Do love those 1970s TV shows. And Robin Williams was an amazing man. Okay, Rhonda, bridge to lifetime debt. That also works because if you're on the bridge, you're in debt. Jody, my first live. So glad to see more and more people being able to find their strength and speak out. Absolutely. And you guys cheer me on. Each and every one of you here, cheer me on. Now, I know quite a few have been emailing me that I'm deleting them from my, from being a subscriber. Please, if you can, check and see, smash the button. It's realistically that easy to smash the button and make sure that you're subscribed because it's been happening to Aaron. It's been happening to Reese. And everybody, I'm going to come back to the statements, but we have a friend. Let's put on our handy dandy. Oh, it's going to smush my glasses. It makes me nerdy. All right. On the count of 1, 2.
Hello, darling.
I told you doing dinner.
I'll have you know. Do you know how much I love you, right?
Yes.
No makeup.
I appreciate you. I don't, you know how much I love you? I don't have makeup on either.
Oh, I couldn't say no. Yeah, we had soup and chicken salad for dinner, so we're good. Yeah. Duncan's on the phone with his brother. So hi everybody. Hello.
Hi. All right. So we do have
Hi.
one question I want to get answered. Well, I want to answer them all, but here's
Yeah.
Selma question. Do you think your mom and dad conversed before they told you he was dead? Like they thought this might be easier. Sorry if that's horrible. I hate that. You're never horrible. You're never it's never horrible for how you feel or how you think. Is it possible? Now I think it's possible. But you know what? That's the most disgusting thing. If my parents got together and decided that this was the best course of action, they're both disgusting. And they both need to, yeah. Like you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't tell a person someone's dead. It's disgusting. Okay.
Do you think
Hopefully
that's
I
even
answered.
likely though? I mean,
At this
did they
point,
really
because I've
talk?
talked to my mom and
Hi, Amy.
Amy Scobie's in the house.
Hello.
And I immediately called Amy because I was super upset after talking to my mom, and she wants me to quit. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if it'll be loud enough, everybody, but screw it. Let's see.
We love you, Amy. You're amazing.
See if we can. Yes,
it was
she
so
is.
nice to meet you. It was so nice to meet you, Amy, and backstage the other night.
I just don't get it. Like, hold on, here it is. I'm just not understanding. Like, let's not understand evil. Okay? Yes, ma'am. I'm in your bed because I don't want to sit on the floor. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
You know, I get that they're evil, Mother. Well, there's no understanding it. Okay? They want power. They want to be able to crush people. They want to be able to do this. And as long as they have power, that's all they care about. Yeah, they don't care who they hurt. No, they don't. That's a simple matter. So that was the beginning of it. And then when I go to ask her, why she's receiving calls from Golden Era, she then tells me I didn't know, so what that they're the ones calling me. And I'm like,
oh.
And it was disgusting. Like she really wants me to quit. She wants me to throw the towel in and say that I'm done. And, all she did was then start bashing everybody that's been helping me, me heal. And it's the amount of words for the amount of hate that came out of her mouth. And of course I stopped it. It's only a 2-minute recording, but I stop it. And as soon as I stop it and I start to walk away, she then starts spewing some more hatred about how, I'm not going to get my father out. Why do you care about your father? You don't love your father. You've told me since you were a kid that he's out ethics. Oh. And he's my father. And I don't remember ever saying those words to you because I didn't understand what out ethics meant.
Right. Yeah.
So, question, how can you continue to have a relationship with your mom after this discovery? I'm having a very hard time having a relationship with my mom after this discovery. It is a betrayal that I'm not sure I could forgive. I'm completely positive that I can't forgive this. If she knew this whole time and let me believe for 20 years that he was dead and she knew that he was alive, I cannot forgive that. I can't. Because that's a level of torture that I don't think anyone should be able to, I don't think anyone could be able to look themselves in the face. Like how do you look at yourself in the mirror knowing that you've done this or that, or you lied, or you've let your child believe you were dead? And if someone else knew the answer, she then spewed that she's been receiving phone calls from the Church of Scientology and letters, and they've been trying to recruit her for the last 30 years. 30 years.
Yeah, they don't give up. And you're not going to give up. You're not going to give up.
I'm not giving up. No. Because realistically, look at all the people in this chat. I've got 80 people in this chat.
Yeah. You are loved. Oh no. What happened? I think she got booted off. Now everybody sees close up of me with no makeup on. But I love you guys. I'm sure she'll be back. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's trying.
There we go.
There she is.
Sorry, that was my bad. I went to click on how many people are in the chat, and then suddenly I clicked the wrong button. But I didn't end the stream.
No, you didn't. Thanks for the close up of me with no makeup. But you know what, guys? I know we're all friends here. I wanted to be here for you, Liz, and I love you. And I have a thought. I'm trying not to get angry. Well, okay, I am.
You can get angry because that is a valid response.
I'm trying not to show it, but there's one thing that I kept thinking of is this damn, blaming the victim thing, right? And the whole thing of trying to make you feel guilty and say, oh, you didn't really care about your dad anyway. You were a kid. And it's totally like crazy town opposite days every day in fucking Scientology. Sorry for my French, but that's what they do. They try to get under your skin. They try to blame it on you. They try to turn it on you. They are not normal. I mean, it's not normal to be hiding this for 20, 30 years, to be thinking that this is okay, to be thinking that this is normal. This is not normal. And it's not your fault. And you're not going to give up. And, I know you love your mom, but sometimes if it's a toxic thing, maybe you gotta just put, your distance. I know you'll always be there for her if she needs you, but you don't need her in your head and dragging you down, even for her own good, No,
because I can't honestly have that. I was receiving a phone call at the exact same time. I just sent Amy, I just sent you a link. If you are still here, I would love to hear what you have to say since we're still in this. If you can, you're more than welcome to click on in. It's in your messenger. Because she was calling me at the exact same time. So because I'm live, I didn't want to be like, oh,
right.
Oh, thank the borders. Do I answer the phone while we're live?
More the merrier. I probably won't stay too long because I have I got to go put my face on because I have a live with Michelle at 9 Eastern. So what, an hour and 50 minutes. So anybody wants to hang out with me and Michelle. But I just wanted to give you my love and I'll be listening. And you got me pumped. You were like listing all the people that have been, abused and have just, I want justice too. That's why I'm here. I just feel the passion. And that's why you have 80 something people in your chat,
Yeah. Amy, look at your messenger. Oh, I didn't even click anything.
You have somebody backstage?
Someone behind us is clicking. Clickety, click. You're my favorite together. Thank you so very much. Because I love her. She's amazing.
I love you too, sweetheart. Sorry, I've been dragging my ass lately because I'm just, I'm tired. I did a live with Doug the other night and spilled my whole, like what you did with me, my whole early childhood.
You ready?
Oh yes.
Hey, Miss Amy Scobie, you all get a treat. You get the wonderful Queen Bee herself joining the live.
It's amazing. Hello.
She always looks so good in everything she wears.
I know.
And that's right. I was watching a live and she never wears the same outfit ever. It's amazing. It's because of Sea Org Wear.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? I still can't hear. 1 second. Okay, talk.
Okay. How's this going?
I can hear you.
Yay.
Now, what were the awesome things that you were saying?
You never wear the same outfit ever.
You look like $1 million all the time.
Oh yeah. Okay. And what else? No. Come on.
And your hair is definitely on point.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Well, anyway, lovely ladies. I was late to your chat, but then I did a 2x. speed up to current. And then I thought, oh man, I want to jump in. I was calling and it was funny because I could see your reaction.
I'm
to
like, I
see
want
if
to
you were
answer
gonna-
it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But I was gonna say it would be funny if you picked it up, but I knew that you knew I wanted you to send a link, and that's what you did.
Yep.
Yeah, I just
That's
did a
awesome.
live with Jackson. I really, really loved that video. We were talking about the whole security situation and what Scientology, how gross they are about keeping people in. And I just thought, man, people need to see that. And then I came over here because I saw you were live because I'm thinking about Bob Ferris and the whole int base and security and everything. And that you called me today about your mom and her reaction. It's just, oh God. Okay, people, if you just think about, you have human rights. You have a right to be in touch with your father. That Scientology tries to control that whatsoever or mind bend its members into thinking that it's not something that matters is just
Yeah.
so culty, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, if mom is saying give it up, we're going to say, Mom, you know what? I'm going to have to give you up right this moment until you come
Yeah.
to your senses and you realize that it's important. It's important to you, and it should be important to her because it's important to you.
Good
Right.
point. Absolutely.
That's what I
Because
think.
realistically, like if she was trapped behind those walls, I would
And you
still
were
fight
not
for
living.
her.
I know. Even if you had
Yeah.
disagreements, I have disagreements with different people. I tell you, I would be fighting for. I'm still fighting for them. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like
And yeah,
it,
if the roles were different, that's actually something you should take up with your mom. If the roles were
I
different.
tried.
Anyway.
I tried in the massive amounts of yelling, but at the same time, it's like I think it's run its course, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's wanting to hinder getting people free or wants to hinder people being released or talking to their family again, she still believes. I'm never going to change her from not believing, and I just have to let her have her moments,
hmm
but I don't have to be in them anymore.
Right.
Right.
I,
Yeah.
you don't have to agree with anything that anyone says, so it's got to be, you follow your heart,
Yeah.
um, she can say what she wants to say if she wants to say it, but that you don't have to agree with it whatsoever, and you don't have to agree with anything I say. I give my advice to keep fighting,
Yeah.
but but it has to be what's right for you and your family,
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because my family wants people out. I can tell you
Yeah.
right now, Carrie, the first words that are coming out of her mouth are don't give up. What you're doing is amazing, because that's what she tells me
Fabulous.
all the time.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And so are
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
You know,
You guys
That's
are like
fantastic.
one of my favorite couples ever. You and Carrie.
yeah, she's my favorite woman. She is.
Well, the support is really, really fabulous
Mhm.
because it is follow your heart and do what you feel is right for you. Who else is the judge? Nobody.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like but the part that she's stuck on, and I mean stuck, the part that when you and I got off the phone, started reiterating, oh, CMO is unethical. RTC is unethical. All these people I saw, they were unethical. Well, if you literally saw it, if that popped into your peripheral vision, then you know that it's still going on.
Right. And who is she talking about? The people still in, or the people who are out for you not to
And that's
trust, or
where,
what?
when I talk to
Yeah,
Carrie,
good
I think
question.
she is talking to, I think she is still talking to Scientology, because now I don't know, I only know of one person that was in RTC, and that's Claire. And then
Yeah.
she keeps saying Serge and the two people in RTC, or that were in RTC. I don't know who she's talking about, because as far as I knew, it was only Claire, and Claire's done nothing but try to help. It's
Yeah.
a beacon of hope.
Yeah. I wish she would be more clear about what she's saying, because it's hard to decipher really what her intention is and what she
Right.
knows, because, and it's hard because it's such a vacuum. We're trying to find out the status of your dad. And if she's
Yeah.
getting phone calls, can you please let us know what they're saying?
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's not
and
that
after
not
you
that
and I
difficult.
talked,
Mhm.
I walked over to her phone because she happened to have set it down, and I looked at her phone and she deleted the call log. I was like, wow,
Okay.
that's, I got a picture of one that was the recent one, but I was like, I don't recognize the number. But the rest were all
She's still
deleted.
she must still be is she still a Scientologist?
Yes.
She must be. Okay.
She still believes. She reads Dianetics and
See,
oh
she's
gosh.
still got the cult mentality of
Yeah.
that it's the salvation, and so you can't kind of break through the little brick. She's gotta have her own little awakening, you know?
She has to have a
Now,
come to
Um,
Jesus. How
can
about that?
she are you
right.
considered an SP? Like Liz, because
Me?
how would she
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
Como.
thinking is she mentally in but not and physically out or
She
you know what I
hasn't
mean?
been on the bridge in 40
Okay, so
years.
she's not doing
She's doing
Scientology.
her own
That's the
reading.
power of a cult. That's the power of
Yep,
a stupid cult. It is. It
true.
is.
Like
So
she has an
you
award from
declare
LRH, and she will not, like, the first thing that gets moved every time I've moved her is that picture. And it's an award for being the best LRH comm of pack base.
right,
Wow.
yeah.
And she
So
will
it's like the
not
pinnacle
get
of
rid of
her
it.
life.
But that
Well,
was in
you
her
can
it was in
imagine.
her 20s. Like,
Yeah.
you're free. You've read
So she's not
thousands of books.
being so she's okay. I'm not an ex-Scientologist, so I'm trying to understand this. So she's not considered like PTS or whatever that because she's
She
not
should
doing
be.
Scientology, but they're talking to her so that I feel like they might be using her to try to get information from you, right?
Yeah, well, I don't tell her
No?
anything. I mean, I've been
Okay.
trying
Well,
to get
yeah,
her
I
to talk
know,
to
but
Amy,
why
but
are they
that's
being
roughly
nice to
about it.
her? I mean, why are they you know what I mean? Like if
They would
you're
be
connected to
calling if they are calling her and we don't know that they are, but if they are and she's acting super suspicious as if they were with what are those numbers and why is she deleting it and why won't she answer any questions? It's just too weird, right? But if they were to be calling her, what they would be doing is telling her how to get her daughter to stop speaking out. And she is telling Liz to stop speaking out.
right.
So
Right.
that's why we are very super suspicious about it.
But
And
they're not
would they
making her
just
disconnect though from her, right?
it's the
I don't
only
think my mom
opportunity to
would
get to
disconnect.
Liz.
Yeah, it's if they disconnect, if her and I, well, first of all, she can't afford the place on her own. She can't afford where she lives. So she can't disconnect from me because I am her only reason there's a roof over her head.
Plus, it's a
Um,
vested interest for Scientology to keep you
Right.
guys together because she's a channel to hopefully get you to stop speaking out.
Yeah. Good point.
okay, we have a quick question. I don't know if you can see the chats, but they're saying
Yes,
you
I
look
can.
sexy in your leopard.
Sexy. Hey, honey, they said I look sexy.
Question: if she is still reading Church of Scientology stuff, how is she willing? Is she still accepting and talking to you, diatastic
Right.
self? I should be
Yeah,
a big no-no. I should be a giant red flag, and she should have
Yeah.
that's right.
technically
That's kind of what my
disconnected
question
from
was.
me
Yeah.
as soon as
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
said, "Je suis homosexual."
Yeah, that and also you're speaking out. You're a total look at your moniker, SP TV. You're a
Yeah.
big SP, there's no way she should be in contact. The only reason she would be is if she's not really in or she's being used to get handled somehow because you're a problem for
Yeah.
Scientology.
Your
You
story
really
and
are.
your father's story, that was a bombshell. It was like he
Mhm.
was being held in gold base. You thought he was dead for 20 years. I mean,
She
this
was
is like
told she was dead.
yeah,
Yep.
this is like Diane Sawyer type news story in
Mhm.
my eyes, you know? This is
Mhm.
crazy. It's
See,
absolutely
and I
Yep.
don't think
crazy.
of it as Diane Sawyer. I think of it more as my life, and it feels like a bloody
I know.
joke that he's alive now. Like
Well,
that's how
but
it
this doesn't
feels.
happen every day they're acting
Of
like,
course not.
it's like what? A big flap, right? This is a big flap. I mean, the fact that it came out when it did.
Yep.
Yep, and
Mhm.
Carrie says, and there's still so much more. She so desperately wants me to talk about my time at Celebrity Center and the time with Tom Cruise and, you know, John Travolta and Kelly Preston and, you know, all the big
We
wigs.
should do another live together just because we all have you and I have those stories. And
You mean don't look at
let's
them in the face? Don't look at them in the face.
don't
They're not really here.
that wasn't my order. I don't know who implemented that stupidity. Probably
Pettit.
Tom Cruise.
Pettit.
So
I know for us
he
it was
did.
Pettit.
I
Pettit
wonder
would
if
tell
it
us
was because
constantly.
it probably because it flapped with a celebrity that they looked at, you know, they're intruding with their eyeballs into my space. Probably Tom Cruise.
Probably.
Yeah,
Very
she
sad.
says, "I
I
just want you to tell your whole truth," right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. There are parts that I haven't talked about, like the gnarly drug habit I got from working with Kirstie Alley.
Mhm.
But, you know,
with Kirstie Alley.
unfortunately,
Wow. I didn't even
she
know
would
that.
say she's clean, but she wasn't. There was many of times I cleaned her
Yeah.
room when I was Manor Hotel, and I would find what looked like baking soda on a, you know, like a movie prop kind of thing, but it was chunky. And I'd be like, okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to move it because I don't want to get yelled at because I misplaced a magazine once and that got me screamed at.
Wow. Wow. Well, as you know, as you're ready to tell bits and pieces of your story, we're here for it all. I know I'm here for it, you know.
Absolutely.
But,
And Amy, I am always down to do a live with you.
yes.
As I've told you many of times, if they had said Amy Scobie has been sent to the RPF, I would have left.
Yeah, well, they
wouldn't-
should have told you that. 'Cause I've
Right?
said
If
so
they
many
had
times.
all the musters that we had to
Can't
sit through
imagine.
and all the stupid stories that Dave Pettit had, because he had a different story for every day.
Yeah.
If at any point that they would have told me, because it was ground in by Renee Duzak. She is the most ethical human being on the planet. She is OT, you know, and she used to always sit there and be like, do not talk to my boss. Don't look
Yeah.
her in the face. I'm like,
Wow.
what is it with you guys and
That
looking
is
people in the
crazy.
face?
I
It's
can't
polite.
stand that was the atmosphere there. I was definitely not trying to make it like that. And,
No,
you know,
it's just people got some power. Like there was some people that felt like they had power in the manner that
yeah,
the HCO Department of Manor would like belittle you, and then they would talk Spanish to you, like
right.
and tell you about how unethical and how disgusting you were in Spanish. Well, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, ¿y tú? Yo hablo español.
Of
Muchas
course.
gracias.
Of course you do.
I know a little Spanish too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
My grandma I'm sure if she's rolling over in her grave that I don't know more Spanish, but I know all the bad words and I know how to understand people.
Okay. Yo te amo con todo mi corazón.
Oh, I love you too.
I don't know. We don't
That
speak
means I
Spanish in
love you.
Vermont.
I love you with all my heart is what it says.
Aw.
See, these are the things I learned. I didn't learn the swear words. I learned those things.
¿Dónde está el baño? ¿Dónde está
Yeah, that's where the
cerveza?
bathroom is.
Bathroom. I
Mhm.
know that one.
Mhm.
All right, ladies. I'm
Oh.
gonna go and put my
Go
face
put
on.
your
I have
face
a live.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a live at 9 Eastern. So I'll be listening, and I love you both.
Okay.
See you
Okay.
later.
Love you
Love
too. Thank you for hopping
Bye.
on.
Bye.
Yes. Nice to see you.
Yes, and thank you so much because I was literally starting to spiral when I called you. Well, when I
Yeah.
text you because I was,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't know who the two RTC people that she was talking about.
Well, that's why
And
I called you. When I saw your text, I just said, this is going to be a phone call, not a text. Because I understand. I mean, this is not easy. You're trying to navigate some confusing waters here. And you just need support while we get through it. And it's got to be a day at a time and get as much information as we can, and keep fighting. And the message is the same. You want your dad to have a connection to you. You want to know how he is, and you want to be able to see him. He's your dad. You thought for 20 years that he was dead, and you had no opportunity to ever see him again. Now that he's alive, and that was a whole lie, you want to be able to see him. He can tell you, bug off, or he can tell you, I miss you, whatever. Just you want to hear it from him, not somebody else.
yeah, I want to hear it he can tell me face to face. I have no problem getting down there. His birthday is coming up November 23rd. He's going to be a whopping 73 years old. He can tell me to his face. He
Yeah.
can man up. He made a baby. The least he could do is man up.
Yeah. And Scientology really should facilitate that. Regardless of all your internal stupid politics, Scientology, it's the humane thing to do. And the reason why you're so hated, Scientology, is this whole disconnection thing. That's one major, major, major reason. So, could you imagine if you said, okay, this has been a bad situation. We're sorry that you heard that 20 years ago. The person who was responsible was misinformed and has been corrected. Here's your dad. Um, and then he's going to tell you whatever he wants to tell you. That's none of our business. Here's your private, come on, man, Scientology, just do one thing sensibly and you might not be in such hot water all the time. It's not logical.
No, but Miscavige would never let me have a conversation with my dad. I can guarantee you I'm a flap. I'm, a mishandling. Not only am I gay, I'm,
I don't think it matters
I'm
that you're
speaking
gay.
out.
I don't think that matters. I honestly don't think that matters. I think that what matters is that you are speaking out. Even when you weren't, though, they were still treating you like that. So maybe it
Yeah,
is. I don't
because
know.
I probably had like 2 conversations with Christy, and then I had my mental breakdown because I've literally only
Who's
been
Christy
out.
again?
Christy from Children of Scientology.
Okay. Oh,
I don't remember her last name, but
yeah, Gordon.
yeah.
But why?
Yes.
What about her? Why her?
I had one conversation with her because she was welcoming me into the second generation group, like the Facebook chat. And then I had another conversation, then I had my breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
So
So maybe because you had connected with anyone who was anti-Scientology, or something that they would do that. But they've been telling you for 20 years that your dad
that he
wasn't
was
alive.
dead.
Anyway,
So it's the
there's no
idea.
making sense of it, really, honestly, honey. There is no making sense of this criminal, stupid, controlling, mind-bending, numbing cult, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, there just isn't any making sense of it. And all we can do is just keep fighting for our rights, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Fighting
And
for, forgiving ourselves. Because I know that's a big one for me is I have to forgive myself for some of the things that I've done. And
yeah,
then,
me too. It's a process.
just continue talking because I know the louder I get, the more, the stronger my voice is, the more people I reach, the more people that you reach, the bigger situation we become. They're finally going to be like, you got to go, Bob. You got to go,
Yep. Yep.
because they've done it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Even send them with one of your dumb OSA handlers, Scientology, whatever. Let them have this conversation. I mean, I remember, what year was it? 2010, I think it was 9 or 10. And I came to Clearwater and we met with Allison Andrus, and who was ex-Yorg member, and Tom DeVocht, who was with her. They were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. And Allison was trying to see her dad, elderly dad, had no idea, tried to get a welfare check done. Scientology would not let her see her dad because she heard that he wasn't in good health. So we actually went to the police. We went to the Clearwater police and we said, she's here. She flew in to see her dad. We need to know if he's okay or not. And so they went in and talked to her dad. But of course, there were handlers there. The police saw him with other people. So he couldn't say, yeah, get me out of here.
Blink twice if you want freedom.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, police, wake up. It's a cult you're dealing with. So yeah, the handler's like, or everything's okay. You don't need to ask any more questions type of scenario. But at least he was alive. He was there. They confirmed that they saw him. They came out and spoke to Allison saying that he's alive and that he doesn't wish to speak to her. So, at least it could be rest assured in her heart that somebody did physically see him. So I don't understand why the police in Hemet won't do a welfare check on Bob.
Well, supposedly they did. And they said, does he have a lazy right eye? And I was like, yeah, my dad has a lazy right eye. And I asked him, now here's where I thought
Well,
it was
we should give them pictures of him because we have
I
pictures of
did.
him.
I offered to. I
Oh,
was
you
like,
did?
look, these are the pictures I have of my dad. This is like, he has not changed. He'll maybe look a little older, but these
Yeah.
are the pictures that I have. I even brought them with me when I went to Golden Era. I had
Mhm.
pictures of me as a baby, my dad showing me how to
Yeah,
skate and holding me as a baby,
right.
and
And the picture of him, when he's under a tree or something and you're there and you're
mhm,
probably 3 or something,
yep,
that's what he always looked like. He always looked like that. So, yeah, if you had that picture and, you know. So
yes, I did.
they supposedly, yeah. Anyway.
But, you know, I wrote an email. I know that I'm gonna go back down there. I just want to give him a birthday present because now that I know he's
Right.
alive, it's
Yeah.
like I've missed out on 20 years of birthdays that I could have been
Yeah.
like, hey, here's this, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with the here's here someone asked me the other day, why did I put the things on the list? I put socks,
Mhm.
undershirts,
Mhm.
pocket protectors.
Mhm.
I got him glasses cleaner. I got him a repair kit for his glasses, his bottle size glasses.
These are
Um,
exactly what he would need. Knowing
I
Bob.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
then it was like I can't get him deodorant unless it's the non-scented kind. And
Yeah.
let's be real, some of those people needed the scented kind. Um, can't get him cologne or hair products or anything like that. But it's like
He
those are
wouldn't
all
use that
things that
word.
he would need, whether he's in or out. Those are
Yes.
all things that he would need,
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
because
That's wonderful. I wish I was there and could go with you. Yeah. I'm on the other side of the United States, but, you know,
hey,
I
if
really,
they ever send
really
him to Florida, which we know they like to do, I'll be
hey,
flying
let me
out to
know.
Florida.
Yeah. 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 Anyway, just my heart aches over this stuff. That's why I keep speaking out. I mean, I still have a brother-in-law that I haven't met. Matt and I are about to have in March. We'll have our 19th wedding anniversary, and I've never met his brother because he's been disconnected from the family the entire time. His sisters, both of his sisters, Matt got out, which is good, with their families. But his brother and and his brother's wife and son are all still in Scientology and all disconnected from the family. They didn't even see his non-Scientology mom and dad before they both died. All they wanted was to have their family back together, and no, Scientology would not grant that. It's just so
Yeah,
disgusting.
I know when my
I
grandma
just can't
died,
tell you.
they made me like they said I could only be gone for 3 days, and then once they basically made me call every 12 hours. Like every 12 hours, I had to check in.
Anyway, this place needs to be shut down. I'm so sick of
Yeah.
them. Honestly, I really am.
Yeah. Selma, complicated last name.
Yeah.
I love that. Question, Amy and Liz. Even when you drop the gift off, do you think he will get it? They're so petty that he won't get them. There's a good chance. I'm going to hand them to security. It's literally that simple, they can check everything. Nothing will be, I'm not going to be that person that puts in letters and so that he can't. I might put in a couple stamps for him so he can mail me a letter, but then let's be realistic. He can't mail any letters because if he writes to me at all, then he's going to be on deck, or if not worse. He can write to his siblings, let them know he's alive. They're not talking out.
Yeah,
They're not even
I mean,
Scientologists.
they have these dumb courses, confront and shatter suppression, because they're so able to confront suppression. I mean, what do? They just run and hide and pretend they don't exist. I mean, they can't even just have a conversation. It's just ridiculous.
No.
But anyway,
And
I don't know if your stuff will make it to your dad. Um, if
I'm
I
gonna
don't
do my
even know that
best.
security's gonna accept it, but I mean, you can try and just let them know this is right on the outside of the bag. Bob Ferris, big words,
Mhm.
um, and and let them know this is for my dad. It's his birthday, and I'm human, and I want my dad to get this. Period.
Mhm. Yeah. No matter what they think of me, that's fine. They love him, and so if they love him, that's just give him his gift. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I'm ordering him an iPad. Like I don't think he would know what to do with it. He'd probably take it apart to try to figure it out.
Yeah. was gonna say, I know what he'd do. He'd disassemble it and try to figure out how it got put together.
Mhm.
He's a techie.
Yes, he is. I
Mhm.
know there was another one for you I wanted to show you. Let's see if I
Okay.
can find it. Because you look like you're dressed for date night.
It's just a, it's nothing big. Dressed for date night. Honey, I'm dressed for date night. Maybe I can get him to take me out. No, it's too late.
Okay. Here, well, someone clicked instead. Stacy Toms, Amy, you're so very true. You are there to support Liz. You have such a loving heart. Yes.
Well, thank you. I am definitely supporting Liz for sure. It's the whole reason why I speak out is they they got in between my mom and I'm telling you, man, if you want to see somebody, shh, I switched, man. I was like, game on when they made my mom disconnect from me like that. And it was really bad, and, anyway, you know it from the Aftermath Foundation, but, yeah, so 2.4 million people saw that Aftermath Foundation episode 1, season 1 with my mom on in her hospice bed speaking out, fighting Scientology disconnection. Our family really went through the ringer on that, and that's why I am here, and I will continue to use my voice in Scientology. You suck so bad because you violate human rights like it's going out of style and you need to be shut down because of it.
Yeah. I don't care what people believe. I'm never gonna change that. But what you're doing, the part, let's not even use the word unethical. Let's just take the words as justice. People should be able to have true, correct justice for what's happened to them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, Mischief. I remember when you said Amy was scary and you and I couldn't see it at all. Now look at you. Great friends. Um,
You
I
didn't mean
was
scary like
no, like more like
not nice.
no, no, I thought I didn't know if you were nice or not nice, but I definitely thought your name brought fear, like chills down my back. Like, is she nice? Is she mean? Is this gonna and then I watched a couple of your lives and then I talked to you and I was like, okay, she's not as scary as I thought she was.
I don't like that I ever gave that kind of impression, but it
But
came with
it
the
was more other
territory, I
people.
think.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
other people putting you on a pedestal that you were
Mhm.
just so angry and don't piss her off. If you piss her off, she is OT. You never know what'll happen to you. And I'm like,
It's just crazy. But I'm glad that that's all behind us because yeah, I don't like that I gave anyone that impression whatsoever because we are all equal. And even though some days I would be wearing, commander stripes, the next day I'd be wearing a boiler suit,
black and gray.
So I was just, you know, in there pitching and thinking I was helping people and willing to sacrifice to do it, and it was all a big con, and luckily we're both at this end now able to go shoulder to shoulder to fight this thing.
Absolutely. Because I'm even though my mom wants me to quit, I'm not because there's a reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this for Serge Obelinsky. I'm doing this for little Elizabeth Ferris. I'm doing this for all the people that got sent to stands. I'm doing this for all the kids that felt like they didn't have parents. I'm doing this because we also didn't get to eat or we're told that we were out ethics for climbing a tree or getting sunburned.
Right.
Like,
So many kids. I was talking with, Laura FM, a couple days ago, and there's a group picture of, like, 70 little tiny kids, and they were all just a workforce to
mhm,
Scientology. They're just a workforce, and they got punished and penalized and, and it's almost overwhelming because I'm such an empathetic person that I just feel
you feel
all
their
that
pain.
hurt. Oh my god. Just it's so upsetting. But all I can do is just go, "Okay, I'm doing something about it. I'm gonna use my voice." Otherwise, I'd go nuts because it's just too much.
Absolutely, because we didn't use, and I'm the first one to say I didn't use my voice when I was in there. I was terrified. I was terrified of, hey, that's wrong. Don't do this to me. Hey, you can't legally talk to me like this.
Well, of
You
course, we
know,
were all indoctrinated. We were
and
so indoctrinated.
it's just something we took. And until we found out that it wasn't okay, really, then it was okay.
Right.
Okay, I know it's still going on.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And
as long
Carrie,
as it's still
thank
going
you
on.
for that comment. Yes. Thank you so
She's
much for
clicking
that.
behind it. She's clicking from the background because I tend to
Is she?
forget. And then people go, you didn't read my comment. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always helpful.
is it possible that your mom is scared of connection that you have with your dad because she's not willing to acknowledge that it is her creating the emotional distance between you two? I don't think my mom understands emotion, to be completely honest. She's never been an emotional person. I've seen my mom cry like 2 times in all 73 years on the planet. But no, she definitely has her for, as she likes to put it, her TRs are in.
Oh, gag. No emotion whatsoever, right?
No.
Yeah.
Like the only emotion you'll ever see is like when she's reading a book, and it gets to that fight scene, you'll see her clench the side of the book and be like, but that's roughly about it. She's not an emotional person.
Yeah.
But okay, Ron Mogul, 100% of Scientologists suffer because Scientology is abusive. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
100%.
I can't believe Mischief. I can't believe your mom knew about your
Yeah.
dad. We don't know for a certainty. We don't. Like she's not giving me too much information, and if that is, then I'm disgusted because she
Right.
could have
Yeah.
told me, 20 years ago, and I'd be fighting 20 years ago. I'd be totally okay with fighting 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah, we don't know yet. We're trying to that we can't get a straight answer is a little frustrating, but, right now we don't know.
Yeah, she dances around the answer. Aurora, the
Mhm.
adults in little bodies always sounds like an excuse for abuse.
It's an excuse for abuse. Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But we heard it a lot as kids. You're just an
Always.
adult in a little body. Or
Absolutely. Now, I thought it was cool when I wanted to be an adult. Like when I was 14 and I was told you're an adult in a small or a young body or something. And I went on staff. I got my first paycheck. I was 14 years old. They sent me on responsible jobs and to do things. I became a body router in downtown Seattle.
there you go.
By myself, bringing people in. Anyway, yeah, they definitely treat you as a grown up.
Yeah. Okay, Ron Mogul. I'm a second generation for public and staff, not SO. I didn't eat rice and beans, but the whole method of raising
Method.
children is fed up. We were broken because my mom needed auditing.
That's supposed to be
Oh,
effed
broke.
up.
Okay.
It's effed up, and we were broke because my mom needed auditing. Yeah, I mean, it spreads through the whole culture because, if you're not in the Sea Org, then you're a public, and as a public, you're expected to give Scientology, like, all your money, and your life, and your children. So, yeah, you're gonna be struggling. You're gonna be struggling, with money, you're gonna be struggling with time because all of your time is to be dedicated to being on course and stuff. So you don't do all the normal things that a family would do. It's
Right.
terrible.
When I was on staff, the only people that were getting auditing, like that I remember the entire time, I know Dave Pettit was getting auditing, and Renee Duzak was getting auditing. They were, because she used to tell me she's moving up the bridge. But other than that, like, no. If you would go to course if you had time, but other than that, your job was more important.
Yeah, I mean, I put a whole Universe Corps team there for Celebrity Center to do nothing but get people up the OT levels, like a whole team that I got trained and put together and fired down. Were they not there when you were there?
I know there was a group of people that helped specifically the staff, but I was
Yeah.
never allowed to go to training. Like she would always find something that I needed to do, that it was urgent or it's close to Thursday. I got to get this done. The LRH Com the LRHCom that was just for Celebrity Center, not international. Maybe she fell behind on some of the things that she needed to complete. So I got assigned to do those for her.
Right. Yeah. So you got shit rolls downhill.
Yep.
She just gave you everything and just kept you so busy you couldn't do your own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't even
Not
fart
that
in the
it-
wind.
Not that, any of that stuff was really good in the first place, because I did my OT levels and I think I got more messed up from doing it than not, because it's really a mind numbing experience. I'll have to do a video on that just specifically alone.
Absolutely. I would love to see that, because as a kid, when I found out about Xenu as an
Mhm.
adult, I was 40 when I found out about Xenu. And I was like, I don't remember that when I was a kid. Why is there a Xenu? Like,
That's because you
like,
don't hear about it until you're
right? This is the
finally at
Galactic
OT.
Federation. I'm like, oh my God, we're living Star Wars and Star
Yep.
Trek.
Yep, yeah, and you've
But
got little body thetans stuck to you all over your entire. Anyway, oh my god, and all your auditing addresses that.
yep, it does. Oh, Kristen Iverson.
Super chat.
Oh, it's a super chat. Is that a super chat? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yep, it's like a Danish krona, I think.
Oh, okay.
Somebody watching.
Forgot to leave a message on the super chat. Liz, you rock.
There we
Thank
go.
you so much. Thank you so very much. Okay, looks like we have a lot. Joni, I hate that your mom is still causing you trauma. Here's the thing, and this is what I've learned in therapy. She only is causing me trauma if I allow it. And because I'm at that stage where I'm sick of trauma, I need to figure out a way to stop allowing it. And if that means that her and I are not in speaking, then that's what it'll be. I just have to figure out where my line is and draw it.
Right.
There's such a thing as the reactive mind. It's called the reactive mindset.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Scientologists have a reactive mindset that is very abusive.
Yeah. Comment. Luke Skywalker said it best. It's time for Scientology to end.
Yes, Luke Skywalker.
I'm okay with that. May the force be with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Comment. There will be some no talk Tony. Comment. There will be times we hurt or cry or we don't have blood relation family. But remember, family isn't always blood. Sometimes we're better for it. Absolutely. Because my mom's family does not talk to me, and I only talk to one person from my dad's side of the family. So my whole life has been not having but one biological family member. Okay, Amy Jean, you're doing a good job. Whether you can get your family members out or not, you are supporting and educating everyone who listens to you. Thank you so much, because if just one of you listens and one of your family members says, you know what, I'm going to go check out this Scientology thing, you could put your foot down and say, no, here, let me show you what this is really about in there. And then if you keep one person away, that's us doing a good job.
Yeah.
Osa, you're not going to get her to quit. So give up Bob Ferris. All right, Free Xenu Project. I'm okay with that.
I agree. Give him
and
up.
I know you want to talk to Bob,
Mm-hmm.
You guys were friends. I know Claire and Mark were friends with them.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll.
I would love to talk to Bob. Give me the chance.
I'd like to know how he is.
I know.
Okay, Rhonda.
First thing we want to know is, how is he?
Yeah, because his dad died of brain cancer. His mom committed suicide because she was dying of MS. And so he doesn't have a huge track record. And plus the fact he smoked when I was a kid. Oh God, even into my 20s, that man smoked 2 packs a day.
Yeah.
Like he had his mustache had tar stains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They need to tell us he's okay.
Yeah. Tell me he's not sick. Tell me he's gone in for a cancer check. And if
well, they didn't do that for sure.
Yeah.
because they don't take care of their staff. But
No, you've got to be dying or near dead, and then they might send you to the MLO.
yeah.
Okay, you were told he's out ethics. You were convinced he's out ethics. You were taught you don't. Oh, thought you don't.
That you don't want him on your line.
On my lines, and that he lied and told you he was dead. Crazy. Absolutely. I do want him on. I want to talk to my dad. I've
Mhm.
never told anyone that I don't want my dad in my life. I thought he was dead. So now, did I have the same reaction that some of his family had? No, because at first I don't take to death well. Like, I don't understand why someone's here and then not here. I have since learned that that means that they pass on, they go to a better place. But at that time,
You know,
I didn't take it well.
why don't they just do like a video? Even if they don't want you to come in contact, why don't they just do a video that's like, "Hi, I'm Bob Ferris. I know that there's all this uproar about if I'm alive, if I'm not alive. You know, I'm alive. I'm fine. I'm doing the work that I love with the church, quote unquote, that I love. My daughter has chosen a different life, which I'm not in agreement with, so I'm not in touch with her. But that's my choice, and I want that respected. Love Bob Ferris." Okay, so I would take it because
I
then we
would.
would know he's still a POW, but at least they are showing us that he is alive and that he's not sick and not hurt, and has a voice, even if it's wrong,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if he does believe in it and he wants to stay, then we will stop focusing on him and we'll focus on some other parent, some other sister,
Right,
brother, mother, aunt, and uncle, you
right.
know. But I'm not going to quit fighting because telling someone that their parent is dead is disgusting. And for
Yes.
that, I'm not laying down the torch.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I think Carrie's okay. I'll click the next one. Okay, Mischief. I agree with you completely, Liz. It explains she wants you to quit what you're doing. Hell no.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. I think Carrie. Okay. Let's see. Sophia, my brother and I were talking about how you can't save someone by
Cushioning?
cushioning a crash landing. They have to constantly go for it. Okay. Let's see. Your mom is an SP on Freedom, apparently. Martha Simmons.
Well,
Yeah.
you're an SB.
But if you told her that she was an SP, I'm sure she'd lose it. I am not a suppressive person.
No.
Okay, Liz, at times takes time to feel comfortable to tell stories. It's part of the healing, and in time, you'll want to share some of them. Absolutely. I'll share all of them in time. I'm just working with a therapist on deprogramming, as well as going through therapy so I don't have another nervous breakdown. Because just in case y'all didn't want to know, it's not fun. There's no
No.
part of a nervous breakdown that's fun.
No.
Okay, I don't know where she is on the clicking, so we'll go. Whoop. So those are called unicorn farts.
Oh, okay. Is that what that is?
That is, it's a unicorn farting. I think it's the cutest thing ever. I don't know why the idea of a unicorn farting makes me so happy. Okay, comment. Blood does not make you family. Love does. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's a question for you, because I know that, that's one thing. Why stay in Florida?
Well, Matt's family's here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came out here, I moved here to take care of his mom in hospice. And then we decided at that time they weren't going to give us any a loan because I had a 7 or 9 month break from my work in order to take care of his mom in hospice. And so to buy a house to go back to Washington, number one, they're so expensive now there. And so we had to use cash because we couldn't get a loan because of the break in the work. And so, which is a stupid rule. I had the cash, I had good, perfect credit, whatever, but they wouldn't. So we bought a place here, which was much cheaper than it would be in Washington State. Things were just skyrocketed. Like the house that I sold in Washington, I bought it for, let's say, 300,000, and it was now going for 600,000. Like, it was just, everything was doubled.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to be going back there. And so we bought a house with cash here because that's the only way we could get it. And and plus his family's here. And for almost the whole time that we've been out, we've been with my family in Washington. So now we're spending time with his family here. And my brother is also on the East Coast up in Alabama. So I'm closer to him too.
Well, that's good. I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm glad you have family, because I know they try to destroy families. Makes me a little
Mhm.
jealous. But the one thing I've gotten I've gotten aunts, I've gotten uncles, Jackson is, like the dad I always wanted.
Yeah.
Because, he's what I envisioned a dad should be: caring, compassionate, and just talks to you so sweet, like you can't do anything wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and I've gotten brothers and sisters out of this. Before I started talking out, I felt alone. Like, I had Carrie, I had the kids, but I still felt alone, like nobody understood me.
Right. I understand that. Yeah.
And now I have friends, I have family, I have a team that wants things to be different than what we had.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that right there for me is worth all the money in the world.
That's awesome. So awesome.
Well, I will say that we can bid adieu, because Matt needs to take you out on a date. Okay, hold on. Linda Gollum. Question: if someone told Liz's mom not to talk to her own father, would she resist? Yes, I would have resisted. If my mom told me never talk to Robert again, because she would call him Robert or Bobby if she wanted to piss him off.
Well, they're asking if your mom was told not to talk to her own father, what she would do.
She would do it. She would do it.
Yeah, she's got a
She
cult mindset.
Yeah, she would. When it came down to it, before she left, whatever caused her to leave in 1990, 1989, she used to tell me that it was because of what happened in Florida, and she got caught beating the tar out of me in Florida. So she was the
Ooh.
LRH comm, and the other person in the room had a daughter, and I wish I knew her name, because I would give her the biggest hug ever. But she was telling her that was abuse, because she didn't stop. She just kept hitting away. And then maybe a week or two later, a guy came up and he's like, I'm ethics officer Flag. I just need to talk to you, and I was scared. I thought I was going to get in trouble. And he flat out asked me, has your mom ever hit you? And I said, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
And so she lost her post as the LRH comm Flag. We were sent back to LA. And she used to say it was because of that she left, but I don't really know.
Interesting. So whoever observed at that time, that girl that was in the room, probably went and told, and then your mom was confronted with it.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah. And
I'm glad.
then,
Otherwise, it would have continued.
yeah, well, it still continued. It continued once we got back to LA. It
Oh.
never stopped.
So that didn't deter her at all
No,
whatsoever.
no,
Anyway.
no. Question: is your mom in or out, Liz? I'm very confused to me. Okay, we're going to go with in. She's just not in the Sea Org. She is a firm believer. LRH walks on water. He could do no wrong. David Miscavige is ruining LRH's tech. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love your laughter? It's like the cutest thing.
I was rewatching something at 2x and my giggle was so funny. Oh,
See,
goodness.
there you go. Amy, mischief. Question, repeat. Amy is looking sexy in her leopard print. Is it date night?
No, it's not. I just threw on this top today, but thank you.
Okay, Marilyn, Scientology, you suck so bad. Amy Scobie.
Just as blunt as that. It's
Yep,
true.
I knew about Xenu before you, and that's weird. Well,
Right.
because we were never taught about Xenu. Like if you'd have told me that my mom fell for something that, had us worshiping, the god of Ra, I would have been like, what are you talking about with this? And then all of a sudden we find out about Xenu, and then I deep dive into Xenu because I don't know who the hell Xenu is. Not in any LRH book that I ever read. Martha Simmons, baking soda with razor blade. I think that is a very inappropriate drug, but it's not baking soda. It's Rocky. Oh man, forgiving yourself is the hardest part to do every damn day. Inappropriate. Yeah, there are days that I can forgive myself for the way I treated people because one of my posts that I held was the estate's project force in charge. And so my job was to make sure that people graduated and were able to become staff members. So they basically gave you 30 days, but if you can get someone to graduate in a week, that's okay, as long as they pass their SEC check. And I got it to a point where I was pushing them so hard in their studies that we had like 3 people waiting on SEC checks. And I was so proud of myself, and I belittled these people, called them names, and I am not proud of that.
Right.
Okay. Yada it?
Yes.
Osa, we see you. Stop it. Remember, freedom awaits. Your beautiful life for all. Come out. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can get a real meal. You can choose rice and beans as a side, not the whole meal. Mary Jean, Liz, I love seeing how much you have grown since starting on SPTV, sending hugs to you. Sorry about that. I just pretend like I'm talking to friends.
You are talking to friends,
right? Because if I don't act like I'm talking to friends, then I get nervous and I start doing and I'll stutter.
You do such a great job. Yeah. Very proud of you, honey. I am.
Well, thank you so very much. It means the world to me that we can talk and have conversations, and that we can do all of these things, and that we can team up together to let people know what really happened.
Yes.
So we'll get a couple more of these, like 2 more of these, and we'll call it a day. Poet.
Okay.
Treating as
a grown-up.
There you go.
Yeah, treating as a grown-up doesn't mean giving you a concussion with a fax machine.
I got like I got hit with dictionaries a lot. My mom had the volumes. I got hit with those a lot, and let me tell you, they will break bones.
Damn.
But I got hit with those a lot. But they were
Mom
the
has
red
a
volumes
few
back then.
problems. Yeah.
Sophia, that's her real name because I always butcher her name here.
Okay.
They can't even trust him to be sent out with handlers, and the leverage they've got. I guess that means he wants out. Yeah, they'll only let him.
Maybe it is.
It's a possibility. I still haven't heard the words come out of my dad's mouth. I suspect it more than anything, but I think a lot more people. Teresa, I don't think that Bob is there willingly. I don't think so either. They would never have called Liz asking about his freeloader debt unless someone had blown. Absolutely. Well, I didn't know that was a drill.
I did hear about that. Yeah, I did hear about that. That's right. There's so many unanswered questions. I just can't stand it. But that might be why they're not telling you anything.
Absolutely. Remarks Liz, my sweet 10-year-old autistic son was having a really bad night tonight, and it broke my heart. I can't get over sweet 10-year-old Liz being in a situation where you were. Love you. Thank you so very much. Everybody for being here. Thank you so much. Remember, YouTube is unsubscribing people. So I do want to say, please don't forget to smash subscribe. Double check it if you think. Same with on Amy's channel. I don't know if she's streaming, but please always double check, because for some reason we're like losing large amounts of people and we're not doing anything. Let's just grab this one and that's it. Amy, A true ally. Can't find a better person.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that.
Oh,
And
and
the
this is
Aftermath
the contact.
Foundation
Mhm.
offers support and resources if you're looking to get out. We're rooting for you. Yes, we are.
We're rooting for anybody that wants out. If you're behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, wherever you are, and you just want help, just reach out. Just
Yeah.
absolutely reach out. It
Yeah.
all started with me reaching out and watching a TV show.
There it goes. Yeah. I'm so glad.
Right?
I'm so
Carrie
glad.
definitely got me to watch that. And I sat there through all seasons. It literally took me like 3 days.
Wow.
Because I wasn't letting go once I found some of the stuff. And the Xenu stuff was still
Yeah.
gets me. But thank you so very much, Amy, for joining me.
Yeah.
Thank you for being every part that's you. You both deserve all the love in the world. Thank you for continuing to speak up, Aurora. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being here. Don't forget to tip your waiter or waitress. Matt, I think you need to take Miss Amy out on a date. Love you both. And thank you so very much for being here. Please smash subscribe, hit the like, and be nice to everybody in the comments. Remember, we're all human.
Yes. Bye, everyone.